So find a comfortable place to sit or lie on your back. That works too. Take some deep breaths, just settle in. Nice to see you guys. So nice to wake up with you this morning. So just take a couple just kind of settling breaths, just get cozy. So whether that's sitting on a prop for you or laying on your back or sitting against a wall so you can have some support, go ahead and do that. So the moon has been opposing Mars last night and then now Neptune. So dreams could have been active last night. You might have noticed that. And if not dreams, just kind of this pull between like feeling like we might want to do something and also feeling tired or just kind of a little bit more lethargic, maybe less motivated. Really a lot of intuitive energy and kind of more imaginative, creative energy wants to come forth. And sometimes that doesn't come in like the work kind of realm or the analytical type of brain. So kind of really listening and honing into feelings and those kind of inclinations to want to do things that feel a little bit more, maybe less pronounced, like, but, you know, sometimes the brain is so clear, right, the things that it wants, that sometimes like following those nudges or those callings would be kind of a good thing to do today as the moon kind of finishes out Virgo. When the moon's in Virgo, paying attention to our health is really important. So like honoring those needs to like sleep a little more or change up our diet at times or move, or the way we move are always important things to honor. Because Virgo is really likes to optimize, right? Like make things better. So it's like, how can we optimize our health? How can we sort and simplify our life? How do we make lists and really focus on the most important? So it's things like that that are our motivations that are happening. So we've been working all month so far the shoulder, right? We've been working mobility and strength in the shoulder joint. And if you think about where the shoulders lie, right, it's that connection between our head, which is the energy that's really heightened. And then we have the energy of the core and the trunk, right? And so when we have kind of locked shoulders or tight shoulders, or the energy feels very dense and heavy here, you can imagine that earth energy that wants to come up and ground us and kind of stabilize our mind and help us feel more rooted and secure, can't get all the way up, right? It kind of gets trapped in the upper body. And then that mental energy, those ideas and inspirations kind of get stuck on the shoulder. So we kind of feel like we're holding things up, right? Things get kind of lodged. So the more we can mobilize the shoulders and kind of feel more easeful in the shoulders, that tends to bring in more of the earth energy and also allow that mental energy to dissipate, kind of join in with the solar plexus. So we're doing a lot of work with that, and hopefully you'll feel some energetic repercussions maybe in your hips and in your core, even in your mind. So okay, enough talking. Let's close our eyes. We're going to do a special breath today called the Brahmari breath. It's called bee buzzing. And so with this breath, what we're trying to do is make a sound that resonates somewhere in our body that kind of dislodges stuck energy. You can look at it, that brightens energy up. So I'll show you what it sounds like, and then you can choose your tone, because you'll choose your own tone. So we'll breathe in. And if I want to go here, I'm going to go, so I can change the tone depending on where in my body it feels good. So I'm going to invite you to kind of play around with your tone. I know it sounds kind of funny, but play around with this. We'll do about 3 to 5 rounds. Everyone will be in a different place depending on your breath. But you'll breathe in. With your closed mouth exhales where you'll make those tones and just kind of come up and down, okay? So ready, deep breath in. Just finish your last maybe round or so. Just kind of noticing how that feels, what you notice. Just kind of taking a pre-body assessment of how you feel in your body this morning. Noticing things like tightness, areas that feel a little sleepy or disconnected, and areas that feel good. Just keep breathing as you do. Noticing any emotions that feel present, really important these next couple days to really pay attention to those. Let them flow through your body as best you can. Give them space. Paying attention to your energy. So maybe dialing back when you need to and up leveling, adding some energy if you need to. Paying attention to your mind, noticing how the mental body feels today, clear, kind of foggy, sleepy, busy. Then take your hands, go ahead and rub them together. And then just kind of do a little massage for the scalp, just kind of, especially getting like where the hairline is, where you have those little tender nodules, just kind of, just giving the head a little buzzing and energizing. It can be fast or slow. Yeah, so kind of noticing kind of what feels good. Sometimes that feels like you're giving yourself like a hair wash feels good. And sometimes it feels good to be kind of more quick. So yeah, just kind of do that. Roll your shoulders a few times. We're going to stretch out through the wrist. So if you need to change your position, go ahead. So we're going to take our hand out and you're going to extend the arm fully from the shoulder. So make sure that you don't have a bent arm or your shoulders high. You're going to take a deep breath and you're going to pull from the root of the finger and you'll pull back to stretch. So deep breath in, exhale, pull back and stretch, thumb line away. Go to your next finger, breathe in. On your exhale, pull it back and away. Stretch out through your pinky line. Middle finger. You're just doing one breath per finger. Pointer finger. Really stretching thumb and pinky line. And then with the thumb, maybe there's a couple extras. You stretch away. Usually there's some good stuff in there. And then just roll the wrist a couple times. Go ahead and place this palm down. If you need to kneel for this, you can. So kind of kneeling down and then just kind of bending the elbow a little bit. Maybe you kind of peel fingers up and down. Kind of just feeling where you stretch. So you can maybe coming forward feels good, maybe not. Just kind of playing with those. And then coming up, rolling that wrist. Just kind of noticing how you feel through the whole hand now that you've done that through one hand. And then extend your opposite arm, deep breath in. Exhale, pull it back and away. And then next finger. You'll just go with your own breath though. These are good to do if you're typing or you're working with your hands and you need to stretch out. And then the thumb, we'll add a couple breaths. And then when you're ready, kind of roll the wrist. And then we'll set this hand down. Again, you can bend the elbow a little bit, but just kind of stretch it out, kind of weight shift a bit, maybe peel the fingers. On and off. And then putting both hands down and kind of lifting from just to the base of the fingers and then rolling it down and kind of pressing through all your fingertips and tenting your palm, and then press all the fingers down, just lift to the finger beds. This will be a strengthening exercise. So I'm just lifting the palm, the finger bed or the finger kind of roots stay down, and then do the opposite of that. Let the palm kind of suck and let the tips of the fingers press down. And just do that one more time. It's gonna feel more strengthening. And then float. And then just roll it out. Okay. Yeah, just kind of notice what that's like. We're gonna get our neck for a moment. So if you have a block that works, if you have a blanket that you can roll that works. So you're going to take the block like this. So it's not the highest, it's not the flattest, it's the medium. And this is what we want to put the base of the head on. So I'm going to show you. So right here, I'm going to lie on my back. And I'm going to put the base of the head, and I'm just going to do a little bit of rolling side to side. You want to get some tender spots. So I might have to adjust the block up or down. So if you don't have anything hard, I mean, a book could obviously work, a ball could work. If you don't have anything, then I'll just have you just kind of massage right around kind of where that skull kind of and the hairline meet. So you can kind of find some good spots. So if you don't have that, just maybe lie on your side or on your back and do some good massaging there. Really deep breaths, you guys, as you do this. Really deep breaths. We'll just do this for about 10 or so breaths. So kind of if you're experiencing the allergies, if you've got headaches, or if you just kind of feel, again, that kind of polarizing energy that can be out there with like that emotional, kind of intuitive energy, kind of with that mental energy, sometimes it just kind of helps if we kind of just feel a little tight in the neck. So just breathing, trying to relax your neck and shoulders. Last couple breaths. And then when you're ready, so I'm going to use one block for my head and one block for my legs. I'm going to turn your face to you. I'm going to turn the block down, and I'm going to let the block come between my knees. This just helps my SI. You can put a pillow there or a blanket, and you don't have to have a block under your head. I could do this with my arm. So totally your option. We're going to take the palms together. So I want to really reach through this left arm for a moment. And I'm going to take a deep breath and come up, inhale, and on the exhale, I'm going to twist, open. I'm going to keep my chest and my shoulder in one line, so the wrist shouldn't be any lower. Now we're going to turn the thumb line to face down, and then we're going to trace all the way back to start. So on the inhale, reach forward. On the exhale, lift up to the sky. Take a deep breath, and now continue twisting, keeping the chest connected to the arm. And then I'm going to turn and rotate the arm so the thumb faces down. And then I'll let the fingers roll down, and I'll make a circle. 2 more. You make it fluid. Thumb faces down. We're rotating the arm. Fingers will eventually face down. And we'll come back in. So sometimes it feels good to exhale through the mouth. And just kind of holding there for a moment. So from here, we're going to take that block. Actually, you could keep the block if you wanted. And we're going to allow that, we're going to allow ourselves to come up a bit. And we're going to press one arm onto the block. I'm sorry, that's a blanket. That's not a block. So I'm going to be kind of side lying, and I'm going to reach this arm forward and pull it back. Reach the arm forward and then pull it back with the shoulder. So I'm putting my weight on the arm as I'm reaching it out and then bringing it back in. So I can shoulder some weight in my opposite hand as well. Just about 5 of these. So reaching, pushing down, pulling back with the shoulder. 2 more. 1 more. And then you can just put that back where it is. If you had a plate, like a paper plate, that works too to slide. We'll switch sides. I'm just going to switch where I am in my mat so that you can see. Okay, so you may or may not need the block between your legs. Palms come out and forward. Inhale up. Exhale, open. And then let the thumb line reach down. Fingers reach down, make a big circle. Inhale, come up. Exhale, open your chest to stretch. Thumb line goes down. Make that circle. Keep going. So I reach, I connect the armpit chest to the wrist so that all of the whole body turns, not just the arm. So we're connecting torso to palm. Got 2 more. Really synchronize your breath with it so you can feel an opening on the chest tissue, and then 1 more. And all the way back. Okay, we're gonna prop ourselves up. So I've got something movable. It could even just be, if you're on hardwood floors, a towel works too. And again, I'm gonna come forward and then pull back. So I'm reaching my arm and then pressing through the forearm to pull back. So this is work through the shoulder, rear shoulder. And push back. And 1 more. All the way back. Okay, you can move that blanket aside, put your block aside, roll onto your back. Just for a moment, maybe move the hips a bit. Let the low back iron out here. Nice, good breaths in and out. Then let the feet go flat to the floor. We'll go a little wider and we'll let the legs start windshield vibrating. So you can move the thighs first or the hips. I'm starting to feel out the low back and the hips. Now we've done this before. We do a little kick and hamstring stretch. So that feels good as you kick, kind of fling that leg at the hamstring. Your hands can be in goalposts. They can also just be over your head, whatever feels good. And a couple more. And then coming back up, and just little windshield wipers. So just kind of keeping the feet a little closer as I weight shift, just to feel again the sides of my lumbar. Just kind of noticing what that's like. Then go ahead and flatten your feet so now you're shoulder width apart. And we're going to reach the arms, and as we lift the hips and stretch overhead. Then just switch the arms. 1 arm down, 1 arm up. Switch. And you're doing a little bit of reaching with this. Reaching. Reaching. Really stretching. So palm up and then palm down. Holding your bridge, feeling the strength of your legs. Long through that tailbone so you don't compress the low back, kind of feeling that press forward with your thighs will help that as well. So you might decide to take it to a little bit of a reach and twist if you want. So now kind of twisting diagonally. I save the top of the shoulders. And if you want to go down in between, you certainly can if you need that break. So reach and twist. Reach and twist. I'm not coming out off my neck though. I don't want to compress the cervical spine. And then 1 more. And just kind of pause for a moment. Feel that out. Then go ahead and interlace the hands and press. Round the upper back. So feel that press away. Keep your ribs nice and strong so that your core is active, and then let it press into the floor. Press up. Press down. Press up. Lower the arms over your head, the little back arch. And then you're going to flatten the back arch, come up. Stabilize, press down. Do the same thing, keep the ribs down, arms overhead. And now let them release up as your arms lift up. 1 more time. Float the shoulder blades off the mat so you're rounding them away. Keep that. Take the arms overhead. Now let the shoulders kind of get a little bit more soft towards the earth. Find your core. And then bring your arms up. This time stabilize. Press the shoulder blades down into the mat. There's no back arch. Arms lift overhead, stretch. And then just kind of relax that a bit and bring the arms up. And then relaxing the arms if you need to, shaking the wrist, kind of that reach up, like you're stretching up to take someone's hand. Just to reach and reach and reach. Okay. Roll those shoulders maybe a little bit here. Make a little hug. So kind of grabbing onto the sides of the shoulders. Nice deep breaths. Try to feel your breath. And then just switch. And then we're going to come up to propped on our forearms. So you want to make sure that that chest doesn't hammock like so. So if you notice, my chest is down here and my shoulders are up here. So I'm going to press here. So I'm going to press into my shoulders, my forearms, kind of that medius part of my forearm. And then I'm going to take one leg out and I'm going to place it back. Extend one leg out, place it back. So this is going to be the easiest way to work this core work. Belly's pulling in. You can also keep the legs elevated and press the legs out, press the legs out. I'm trying to keep engagement of my core. I'm pressing into my shoulders for stability as I'm moving my legs. This could be at a higher diagonal. So use your breath. Breathe out of your mouth if you need to. Relax your jaw and your face. Should feel a little mild stretch through your chest for 3, 2, 1. Feet come down. So you are going to be a little bit more of like an abdominal crunch. The hips can lift a little bit. And then what you're going to try to do is lift the arms up and come right back down. Lift the arms up, come right back down. Or you'll do one at a time, because that works too. So I'm reaching like I'm going to shake a hand, come down. Reaching, come down. Okay, if you can do that at the same time, great. If that starts to grip in your neck, or if you start to feel your core disengage or press out like you're bracing, then you'll just come back down and you'll try one at a time. So there's a little bit of ribs pulling to hips, just a little. 4 more. Breathe. 2. And come all the way down. Relax. Grab the outsides of your ankles. Roll your ankles. Okay. Then we're going to roll over onto our belly. Taking our forearms down. And it's totally fine to have the elbows just slightly forward. So I want you to allow the belly to drop. Pull the shoulder blades back. You can go a little wider if you need to. And lift the chest. So I'm pressing into my feet for this. And then I'm going to do the same thing I just did on my forearms. I'm going to reach my hand forward, bring it back. Like I'm shaking a hand. Bring it back. Without disturbing the hips. So keep that strength in your legs. Keep the strength in the spine. This is working those erector muscles. 8 more. Nice and slow. Breathe. You need to come down a little lower. You can. If you just want to lift the arm, that works too. Breathing, breathing. Keeping that lift. Press through your feet. 2 and 1. Come on down. Rest on your forehead. Shake it out. You can even bend the knees in a windshield wiper if you'd like. Okay. Some core roll-ups. We'll add this into today to some of our work. So I'm going to start again. I want to make sure I'm not too wide, so I should be shoulders and elbows one line. You can make fists if you'd like, if that's better for your shoulders. So I'm going to look down and I'm going to pull my ribs away from the mat. So just feel that for a moment. You should feel how the upper core engages. I'm pressing from armpits to the medius part of my forearm. So just my ribs are lifted. Now can I lift my hips? So I just have ribs and hips lifted. Now my thighs are still on the mat. Can I lift my thighs and come to my knees? So it's nice and slow. I'm still pressing down and forward into my shoulders. I'm broadening my upper back. Now lift the thighs, or drop the thighs, sorry. Drop the hips, drop the belly, lift the chest. So now you're in a back arch. Doing the exact opposite. Drop the chest, lift the upper back, lift the ribs, lift the hips, lift the thighs. Pull the navel back so that you're lifting the abdominals towards the back body. Now drop the hips, thighs, drop the hips, drop the ribs, lift the chest. Okay, we got one more. Pressing down and forward, lift the upper half. Nice and slow, peeling, peeling, peeling. Holding here for 5. Broadening upper back, kind of letting the outer shoulders wrap towards your ribs. 4. Breathing, you should really feel your core. 3, 2, and come all the way down. Rest, all the way back. Shake it out. So if you felt a little bit of shoulder stability there. Okay, take the hands back. We're gonna come onto your all fours. So for here, you're gonna let your palms face up for this cat-cow. So I'm gonna say you can tuck your toes and walk your hips back, and you can just move the shoulders. But if you wanna move the hips, totally fine. But we wanna concentrate on the shoulders. So try to roll the thumb line down as much as you can with this. Now feel free to make a circle with your shoulders too. Make that circle both ways. This is that same circle we did when we did this. It's the exact same circle. We're just doing it in different kind of place. Feel free to go forward and back as well. I'm just trying to get some mobility there in the shoulder. Yeah, so rounding. Bringing the shoulder blades together, bringing them apart. So do 2 more rounds, circling or cat-cowing, whatever feels good. Nice. And then walk the hands back, round the shoulders, breathe into your upper back, let the palms rest up or grab your wrist. Okay. And then when you're ready, come up to kneeling. So we're gonna reach the arms up like we're grabbing onto a bar. Then like we have a pull-up bar, we're gonna pull back and sit down. So I'm gonna pull the shoulder blades back. I'm gonna reach my arms and come up. I'm gonna exhale, pull back, sitting straight back. If you wanna come into a broken toe pose, I can do this and sit back this way. So those are some options. 5 times, reach, and like you're doing a pull-up, pull the shoulder blades down and together. Breathe. One more. Now come all the way up and then wrap the right arm underneath the left. If that doesn't work, you can bring the palms together and round your upper half. Now rock back and keep your legs straight so you're feeling quad engagement. Okay, come up, unwrap, left arm under right. Retract your upper back, means you're rounding it, and then come all the way back. So you feel your thighs engage. Come forward, switch. So you just kind of wrap and release. Sink on back. Without your neck, come up, switch. Sink on back. Come up, switch. Now as we do this, I want to round upper back, kind of feel that core work as I come back. Really similar to what we did on our forearms. So again, I do a little bit of protraction. I sink all the way back. One more time each side. So a little bit of hollowing as I rock back so I have my core. Last one. Ooh, those arms, I'm starting to feel them. And then roll them out. Roll them out. Okay, step your legs forward. One more kind of mobility. So I can put one hand on my thigh and I'm just gonna let this arm, imagine you had like a hand weight in your arm. And I just let it kind of get heavy. Just let it get heavy. So imagine if you held something heavy, you would kind of pull the shoulder blade away from the back of the heart space. And you can go both directions if you feel that you need that. And then stepping that leg together, come up, and now I'm just gonna kind of lean over to the right a bit, let my head go, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the heaviness with an arm swing on the right. So like I'm holding on to something heavy, letting my neck go with it. And you can even practice if you wanna try the neck the other way. I tend to find that
it feels good for the neck, but sometimes it's hard to get the heaviness. So let's see what you think. You might go more upright with the neck release, heavy arm, or you can lean this way and really get the shoulder to drop away from your ear. So up to you. And then with that arm, we're gonna shoulder circle, up, back, and down. Bring it forward. So just to practice this a couple times, because we're gonna do it in a lunge series, I just want to show you the side profile. Remember, we've done this before. We turn the palm to face up, we reach up, we push out, back, and away, and come back. Chest stays forward, so maybe this hand holds my ribs. Palm reaches up, push out, back, and away, okay? All right, so we'll do that in a flow. I just wanted to kind of give you some muscle memory. So second side, final side, my hand's here, and I'm gonna let this arm get heavy. Imagining I'm holding a heavy object, and it's just kind of allowing that shoulder to get some space between the spine and the edges of the scapula. And then I might take it over to the sides where we could lean towards it and go this way, letting the collarbones widen in the arm. You'll notice this makes your arm feel longer. Or I can stand tall and I can just do a neck release with this. So then they're just accomplishing different things. One of them is giving you more neck lengthening. One of them is giving you more arm lengthening. And then roll it up, back, and down. Go forward. Okay, and then step. We're just going to practice this movement. So maybe the hand stays here to hold your waist. Press up, reach up, and then press out, back, and away. As far back as you can. Reach up, stretch, turn your arm to face out, back, and away. And then again, kind of do those shimmies, shake it out. Okay. All right, so stand a little wider. So just going to warm up our legs a little bit. So you're going to step your right leg back to kneel. You're going to step your left leg back to kneel. Then your right leg's going to step on a diagonal. We're going to come into it a diagonal lunge. So hold for a couple breaths. And then you can bring your hands to your heart if you want. Left knee down, right knee down. Left leg steps out. Reach the arms up, diagonal lunge. So my leg is not straight in front. It's just a little bit different stretch for your hips. And then taking the arms down, right knee down, left knee down, right leg out. Come all the way up, diagonal lunge. So you could hook the thumbs if you want a little bit more space. You could add some side touch. You want you to kind of be free with your arms, taking down. So you can pick this up. Takes a little bit of coordination, but remember the leg is a diagonal, so I'm on the outside edge of my mat. My hips stay square. Yeah, out. So I'll let you go at your own pace. And just breathing, just starting to get some strength and some grounding through those legs. It'll give you a little bit different feel. You might get a little bit of inner thigh work. You might feel a little bit more frontal hip opening. Okay, let's do one more time on each side. I'm circling my arms just to kind of give it a little bit of a different feel. Out and away. And the last time. Out and away. Come back to kneeling. Take a deep breath and reach up. On the exhale, hands down, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Pedal your legs. It's our first down dog. So everything that feels good. Take some deep breaths. Let the hips move away from the chest. So feel the shoulders reach into the arms and feel the kind of pelvis reach away from that action so that you get that length in your low back. Okay, take a deep breath in. We're going to step the right leg forward between our hands. And for this first lunge, I want you to either make fist or come into your fingers where you tense your palm. But you want the fingers flat on the mat, on the tip of the nail. So if that doesn't work, either lift for a block or use a fist. We just want to get some shoulder strength. We're going to cat-cow, just the upper half. 3 breaths. 3, 2. So I'm moving up and down. Then I'm gonna come up and kind of bind my hands on my thigh. I'm gonna cat the back here and stretch for 3. Upper back stretching, 2. Like it overhead, take the arms forward and bring them up. So pull the rib cage down and stretch up through the arms. Breathe. Okay, as you're ready, step into your right heel. You can take a couple steps if you need it, and then interlace and flip. Let the knee press into the arm and stretch your shoulders down into your hands. So nice deep breaths here. Okay, as you're ready, you're going to release this leg, swing it back to a warrior 2. So heel to arch there. So we're going to be doing some shoulder mobility as we're here. So I'm going to say forearm to thigh. You don't have to do that. You can even do what we did last week, which was that inner rotation, and we lay the hand on the thigh. I'll show that to you again. Thumb up, inner rotate, hand in the back hip pocket, and I rest my forearm on the thigh. So that's your choice. Otherwise, you're here. Okay, we'll take that arm and we'll let the arm sweep down so that we kind of round up our back. Then we'll peel it open and stretch. The arm's gonna reach up and down towards my hip. Then I'll round a bit as I look down. Then I'll reach up, similar to what we started with, reaching up and away. You have 3 more. Rounding to those shoulders. Come down, reach, stretch. And then 1 more. Nice. Then as you're ready, come to a half bind with your left arm. So inner rotated here, right arm goes up, and we look down at our back foot. Take some deep breaths, lift your front heel and drop your right thigh. Breathe in, breathe out. And then as you're ready, lower that heel, release those hands, warrior 2. Deep breath in and out, and then cartwheel the hands down to a low lunge. Back knee down. This is where we're going to start that shoulder work. So you can be in a lunge here. So first kind of plugging into your back leg, letting the hips release forward, hips kind of move over. So getting a good comfortable lunge, you're not thinking about your legs here. Okay, as you're ready, we're going to take the left arm, the arms, excuse me, both together, and we're going to bring them forward. So you're stretching the upper back. Okay? Then we're going to bring the arms back as far back as you can to stretch open the chest. Now hover your hands, separate them, and then reach them straight up. Okay, now turn them out, back, and away. You've done this. And then hover the hands at the small of your back. And as you're ready, you can interlace the fingers and bring the elbows forward. We're going to reverse that. See if our brains can remember. Press it back, hover the hands. Now can you extend your arms back? Now can you circle sweep them? Thumbs will roll out. Reach straight up and stretch. And then hover the hands behind your head. Fingers don't touch. Slowly bring your fingers to touch. And then bring your elbows forward. Whew. Okay, take the arms down to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Nice deep breath, pedal the legs. So we're going to come forward in a moment. Knees can come down. We'll put one forearm down. We'll put the second forearm down. We'll roll down. We'll come into Sphinx pose. So that same work we did earlier. So pressing. Now from here, lift the upper back. Lift the ribs, lift the hips, lift the thighs. Then you're going to turn your right arm to face your left. I'm going to make a strong fist, and I'm going to roll over onto my right knee. So I'm going to forearm plank modified. Okay? So the left hand presses up. I'm pressing into that meaty part of my right forearm. And if I want to, I can lift and lower the left leg to make it a little bit more challenging. I can also lift the hips as I do this and drop, just like 5 times. This is a little hip work, medial hip, Try not to let the neck get too tense. And then as I'm ready, I'm going to put both forearms down so they're in like an equal sign. Then I'm going to go straight to the other side. Left knee down, right arm up. So I can either just stay here, working strength in my left shoulder. I'm pressing from the shoulder blade out into that meaty part of my forearm. I can lift this and lower this right leg. I can even lift and lower the hips. It's going to give me a lot more core shoulder stability work. 3, 2, 1 more. Now make your equal sign and then uncross. Roll all the way down, press back, child's pose or down dog. Okay. All fours, downward facing dog. We're going to take that left leg and we're going to step it forward. So remember the option was coming onto your fingertips, making a fist. If that means going to block, that's fine. Just something, just kind of get the wrist to do something different. And then cat-cowing, just a very small cat-cow. Shoulders move back, shoulders move forward. And then from here, one hand on your thigh, second hand, press it away and round your upper back. Round your upper back, so kind of like that cat pose. For 3. And now interlace your fingers. You're gonna kind of unround as you come up. So now I'm stretching as I bring the rib cage in and trying to reach for that outer border of my shoulder. Breathing in and out. Now press into that left heel, that's your stability. As you launch into a standing knee raise, I'm gonna flip. So I'm getting that little wrist and forearm. Now let your thigh press into your hand and you should feel a release of the upper back. So it's broadening and it's going down towards your wrist. Breathing in, breathing out. Let it go and step your right leg back, warrior 2. So I'm gonna turn and face you. Okay, so remember you have some options, just hand to thigh, or you could inner rotate with your left arm, take it to the small of your back and hook your elbow. So this is gonna give you more shoulder strengthening of that kind of lateral shoulder, so in rotator cuff. So could be too much, so do what feels good to you. Okay, let that arm come down, my palm is facing my body, and I'm kind of letting it be heavy and reach. Then I rotate the palm to face flat to the floor. And this is where I kind of open up my side body. Then I'll continue reaching through my chest as my arm comes up. So kind of keep noticing that I'm rotating the arm in the socket. So palm faces down before it spans up. Stay really strong in your legs. So I'm really trying to get that mobility in my shoulder where I have stability in my hips. And we have 2 more. Nice deep breath. And then I'm going to go right arm inner bind or inner rotate, left arm up and over. Then lift your left heel so that your hips get a little heavier and then lower it back. Now look down at your back foot. So get that neck stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. And then we're going to cartwheel the hands down to the floor, knee down. So take a moment to set up that low lunge so that you can kind of not concentrate on the lunge so much. So strong through the core, letting the hips release. Take those hands behind your head. Bring the elbows forward. So feel that kind of gentle squeezing in of the biceps. So you're going to feel the upper back open. Now widen as much as you can. Hover the hands. Try to keep the elbows wide. Reaching up, reaching out as you rotate the arms, palms facing back. Now bring the hands to hover. And then when you can, interlace them, let them come forward. Now press them out and away. Kind of let the hands hover. And then reach them out. Rotate your palms to face out as they span up. And then they hover out behind your head. And then they interlace, touch your head, and they come down. And then hands to the floor. Downward facing dog. Breathing, pedaling out the legs, whatever feels good. Coming back into plank pose. Dropping down to your knees, coming all the way down to the floor. Bringing your forearms down. So again, we're back in that kind of Sphinx pose, elbows, shoulders. And now I'm going to take the left leg up as I reach my right hand forward, lower it. Left arm, right leg, come back down. This can be just a gentle weight shift. If the extra leg work is too much for your body, then you'll just keep the arms. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down. Take your hands behind your head, just like we did in that lunge. You're going to pull the elbows away from the floor, not too much, just enough to be kind of wide. Then when you're ready, you're going to press your head into your arms and come up. Arms press into head. Find your strong core muscles. Now lift your legs if you can for 5. Head presses into hands, hands into head to lengthen the neck. Strong through your legs, 2, and relax. Let it go. Breathing in, breathing out. As you're ready, press into your hands, tuck your toes, plank or down dog or child's pose if you need an extra little break. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, as you're ready, take a deep breath. We're going to step that right leg forward. So we're going to cat-cow here with our hands behind our head. So we're going to round and kind of cat the back, and then we're going to lift up. Arms go behind the head. And then we're going to round, face down. You can always do this in a low lunge. Okay. One more time. Then as you're ready, we're going to take that eagle bind. So the arms are going to come out. Left arm is going to go over the right. Okay, so step into your right leg. Bring your left knee up first. Sit in a little squat. And I'm going to say let your toes be kind of like a kickstand, your top toes. So first just finding eagle, stretching the upper back. Then we're going to do a little bit of cat-cow here. So we're going to exhale, bring the elbows in towards your thighs. You should kind of feel that tailbone lengthen a bit, pubic bone come forward. And then lift up, and maybe there's a little bit of back arch here. So moving the chest forward, the shoulders back. Bring the shoulders forward, the chest back, and then do it 2 more times. If you want a wall behind you, that could be awesome. And then on the last one, slowly take your time, unravel, step out, inhale, and then exhale down your back. We're going to keep the right leg forward as we step the left leg back for a warrior 2. So I'm going to turn in my mat again. This time we're going to keep the leg straight. So I have heel to arch. I'm really strong there. I'm going to take this left hand behind my head, and I'm going to kind of turn to look at my left forearm as I'm going to reach forward into triangle pose. Okay? So I'm stretching the right side of my neck, and I'm going to turn it to face down using my fingers. And I'm going to let my left arm stretch, maybe back a bit, and I'm holding my head. Let that right shoulder drop, or bring it to your heart. For 5. If you liked it better looking at your palm or your forearm, you can. Bring that shoulder back. And now let it round and come down towards the floor for a moment. And then bring it back. And you're going to tip up and back. This time we're going to do a neck release. So with legs straight, drop your left ear to left shoulder, release your right arm. And if it felt good, just swing it like we did earlier, swing it. Okay, use your left arm to lift your head. So you can either cartwheel to low lunge again, or if you want to try that arm exercise and high lunge, this is that same one. We're going to try it one more time. Okay, so the arms come forward. Okay, so you can either bend this knee to make it really intense for your legs or straighten it, it's your choice. Now bring the shoulders back. Hover the hands. Reach them up. Stretch them out, back and away. Bring them to hover at your low back. Now touch your low back, release, and forward. Pull them back. Hover. Reach them back. And then turn and rotate as your arms go up, big stretch. And then bring them back. And then to hover, touch your head, bring them forward. Nice work, arms reach up, and then exhale, hands down to the floor. We're gonna do a little side bend here. So we're gonna take that right leg back. So here's your options. You can go straight arm, come to your left hip, and I'm just gonna straighten the legs. And my hand is gonna be further away, and I'm gonna lean into it. This is like a side body drape. Shoulder goes to ear. So I am letting the shoulder rise to get this whole side body to stretch. Okay, so if this doesn't work, you can try your forearm. I don't find this one to be as deep as the palm. So ask me if you've got questions. So the arm is slightly away. I let the shoulder lift, and I let the hips lift. I'm sorry, I let the hips drop. So I'm letting gravity happen, and my head gets to rest on my shoulder. And you should feel a really big opening through this left side seam. So take 5 breaths. Now we're going to push the shoulder away. I can bend these knees to kind of repurpose. The shoulder just wants to be, or the wrist, I should say, slightly above the shoulder. Step your right leg forward. So now I'm going to switch the position so you guys can see. Okay, so just remember you're going to keep your left arm down. So I have this left hand, left foot in front of my knee. And I'm going to push up to a side plank that's modified with the foot. This foot can be as far up towards your wrist or as far back, okay? So your choice is just to lower the arm over your head and lift. If you want to add on, we would let the hips lift and then push the shoulder down. So this is the opposite of what we just did. We're letting the hips go down, but we're trying to maintain the shoulder down. So it's the opposite. We were letting the shoulder go up before. Now we're trying to pin the shoulder away from our ears. That's one option. Otherwise, you can just move the arm and you can work it in side plank. Okay, just one more. I'm just showing you the arms. And then as you're ready, you can let the hips come all the way down. You're on your hip, and you can kind of pull yourself in for a stretch. So while you're stretching here, and again, you can roll towards your knee. Let your head go. So when I again explain what we are doing, before we let the shoulder lift up and we were stretching this plank, so we're in elevation. In side plank, we don't want to be in elevation, right? We want to be in depression. So I want to push down and keep the shoulder down. So when we were doing that work of lowering the hips, now I was trying to stabilize depression. So we're just doing both movements, seeing if the shoulder can accommodate both. Okay? If you didn't get that, it's okay. Okay, unravel as best you can. Cat-cow, vinyasa, hip swings, child's pose. Here's our last little bit of standing work. So take your time. We're going to meet in down dog. Okay, so step your left leg forward and you're going to come to that lunge where we're going to take our hands, remember, behind our head. We're going to round. So I am using the pelvis here, and then I'm going to open. So exhale. You can be in low lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last time, exhale. Inhale. Now the left arm is going to be under the right, unless you feel like you did that side already. Step your right leg forward and come into eagle. So I'm using my toes as kickstands. So remember, we're doing the same work, shoulders forward, shoulders back. Just what we were doing there. We're gonna do an eagle pose though. So on the exhale, round your upper back, bring your pelvis towards your ribs. On the inhale, let the pelvis tip forward as the shoulders move back. So we're just trying to feel a little movement there. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and then exhale, and then inhale, unravel, arms stretch up. Exhale, pull them down and back. And then relax. The right leg will step back, and we'll come to our warrior two straight legs. Okay, friends. So the right hand comes up, and I'm holding the back of my head. So I'm going to show you this to you like this for now. So I'm going to use my fingers to rotate my head on that kind of lifted axis so that I'm kind of towards my ear. So this kind of gives you a little support with your neck, okay? So I'm, rolling it this way. I got confused here when I switched legs. Now, as you let your hips press away from your arm, come into your triangle pose. I'm doing the wrong arm, aren't I? Sorry. It's the top arm. When I turned around, I got lost. Come down, come down, come down. So you can stay here looking up, kind of having support, or if it feels good to kind of turn your head down, and let your head reach away from your arm, do that. 5 breaths. Remember, hand can come up or on the block. We're just kind of protecting the neck while we strengthen and open the shoulder. Okay, coming up. Right arm down, left arm up first, look down, and then a neck release. You can move it like this. I can just pull away. Strong legs, I'm reaching towards my back leg. Breathing in, breathing out. Now using my hands to lift my head, I'm gonna pivot. And it's either gonna be high or low lunge. So I did high lunge, I showed you last time. If you can't, if it's just too much to be doing a high lunge and all that shoulder work, come to a low lunge, right? Doesn't matter, it's just, the legs are just stability. So find your core support, find the legs, bring your hands interlace, bring the elbows forward. So feel the upper back stretch, especially this space here. Now feel that space close as you open your arms, hover your hands, reach them up and back, reach them back as you rotate them away, bring them onto your back or hovering first, and then onto your back forward. Take it back, hover, reach back, reach up, bring them back, touch your head, bring them forward. Awesome, take your hands all the way down. So now we're gonna bring that left arm, I believe, is the arm we're gonna do, and it's that elevation, right? So I can be knees down, I can be legs straight. My arm is at kind of a 45-degree angle. I let the shoulder right up to meet my bicep, and I let my torso drape. If this bothers your shoulder, come to your forearm, try it that way, and if it doesn't work that way, you can just eliminate this. So I'm trying to stretch this whole side body. So let your head completely go, you guys. Let your shoulder right up. So it's like you're just kind of being slouchy, letting gravity do something. Now slowly come up, so use your hands. So now I want to draw the shoulder blade down away from my ears. So I want to make sure that it's not riding up, but I have stability. So I'm going to tell you to step your right leg forward on top of the left, and then lift up. So make sure you can feel a reach from your left shoulder blade into your left arm. If we already did this side, do the right. Yeah, I think we did the left, right last time, didn't we? Yeah, I see that you guys are on the right. Thank you. Couldn't remember. Okay, so we're here. So your option 1 is to just over your head and lift up. So working shoulder stability. Option 2, drop the hips just a hair so that your shoulder doesn't lift, and then lift them back up. Use your left foot to press into the mat. So do that 5 times if that's what that feels good. So pin that shoulder, it doesn't move. Yep, you guys got it. Yeah. And then when you're ready, bring your hands down and whatever works for you. Cat-cow, rolling shoulders, child's pose. Yeah. Okay. Returning to the pose where our palms face up. We're just gonna walk the hips back, and it's just a little stretch here. So let the ribs pull towards the back body, stretch it out. You can let your head come to the mat. This is just a stretch for the lats. Trying to broaden your shoulder blades. Trying to reach that thumb line down. It's okay if it doesn't go down. You can see mine's nowhere near. Take another deep breath. And then come on forward. And then again, we're going to take the right arm underneath the left. So now we have that outer border of the shoulder. And I can make a fist with my left hand for my head to rest on, so I can stretch and release out through the right. I can also rest my head on the floor, lift my left elbow. So I want to get into that right shoulder blade. So maybe I'm using my left palm to kind of press away. Breathing in and out. Slowly coming up, and then we'll just switch. The left arm reaches through. I can make a fist and just kind of let that shoulder hang. Or if I want to rest my head on the floor and do a little bit of a twist, I can do that too. Just listen to that low back. And then as you're ready, pressing into your palms, coming to all fours, and then downward facing dog. Step your right leg forward, come to a wide leg forward fold. Then just grab onto your elbow crooks and let your body sway. So I'm kind of balancing the weight between my heels and ball mountains. Let the head really go. If you prefer to interlace your hands behind your head so that you could stretch out through your neck, please do that. And then as you're ready, releasing the hands to the floor and then bending and straightening one leg at a time. So starting to get the inner thighs and then holding over to the right. So bending the right knee, the left foot stays flat, and then I'm allowing the hips to shift back a bit. So almost like I'm tipping the pelvis forward. To start to feel that left inner thigh line. Reaching from the inner pelvis into that inner foot. I can even walk my hands away a bit to get a little deepening action. And then switch, left knee bends, right leg straightens. Try to, again, let the pelvis tip forward a bit so you feel your sitting bones reaching away from the front of your pelvis. And then if I want to reach away again, I can. And then as you're ready, coming back to the center. So you can heel toe your legs in a bit to come down for a squat pose. And I like to, as I'm easing into a squat, kind of weight shift side to side, because we haven't done a ton of squats, and so just kind of preparing. And so from here, right, you have some options. I can let my body kind of round and releasing it heavy for a moment, kind of letting a little bit of that roundness in the upper back happen, kind of feeling that. And then I can press my arms into my thighs, lift my chest, do the opposite. So that same kind of cat-cow. And sometimes if I do both of those motions, I'll find some center spot that feels a little better to rest. So we'll take 5 more breaths. So I'm kind of watching out for too much weight in that big toe line of the foot. So I want to have a little bit of rolling out of that weight, right? Just a little bit. Okay, one more breath. And then hands to the floor, straighten your legs, parallel your toes, and come into a forward fold. Shake your head out. Let the head go. If you just shake it out, shake it out. Walk your arms over to the right. If you can't do that, walk towards your right leg, so you get a little side body. And then walk to the left. And then hands both to the floor. Place your knees down, nice and slow. Sit back onto your heels. And then step your right leg forward. So I'm going to put a block underneath me. So I'm on the top of my foot. So this is going to be a thigh stretch eventually. I'm going to take my right arm, my right hand to my right thigh, and I'm going to twist, either holding onto the thigh or prayer twist. I can look down. Breathing. And then slowly coming up. So option one, I would be off the block, I'm thinking. I can kind of let my hips come down, straighten your right leg, and I can start to walk myself down onto my forearms like we started earlier. If that's too much, then what I might do is just walk my hands back and lift my hips. So some of you can go way down, some of you like that's just too much. So you just have to kind of adjust, let the head come back if it feels good. Sometimes it doesn't, so you'll have to look towards your navel. And you might sway. So I'm lifting my hips and kind of allowing the tailbone to lengthen a bit. That gives me some good sensation. And as you're ready, come on up. You can kind of stretch up and maybe kind of shake that leg out or swing it a bit. And then we'll come to the other side. So right shin comes down. I sit on a block. You don't have to. So I can twist by holding onto my thigh, and it can be a really like close belly to thigh, or I can do a prayer twist. So I used to choose what feels good. I can look down. And then slowly coming out, again, choosing what would work. So I can just remove the block and walk my hands back. So if my hips were low, I might get somewhat of a stretch, but I might want to lift the hips, and that might feel better. Remember, I can also straighten my left leg out. As long as that doesn't bother my ankle. Okay. So coming up nice and slow, stepping into your left leg, shaking out your right, weight shift if you need to. Then as you're ready to head onto your back, head onto your back. So I'm going to show you a couple different things. So those of you that don't have a strap, you're gonna, you could use a towel. For this, those of you that have a strap, make a cinch, a very large one. So the cinch, remember we throw the fabric side in between the buckle and the other fabric and then loop it. Let me know, unmute yourself if you need some help with that. So I'm going to show you with the strap, and then I'm going to show you guys without. So I'm going to loop this behind my ears. So do you see it's above my ears? I'm going to put my foot in the strap, and then I lean back. So this one for me is a little loose. My hair is very slippery today. So what we want is the weight of the foot to stretch the back of the neck. So do you see this is not a hamstring stretch, but the weight of my leg lifts my head. If I have more weight of my head, my leg lifts. So you're trying to figure out how much. Like I want mine a little tighter. So mine was too big. And then it gives you a nice little back of neck, upper trap stretch. Okay, so if I have a strap that I could lasso, It's above your ears and you're really weightless. So I'm really letting my leg be weightless. This is not a hamstring stretch. So if I don't have a strap that can cinch, but I have a towel, I want you to do a hamstring stretch for a while, you guys. And if you had a towel, choke up and let your shoulders hang. Okay, we're going to be here for 10 breaths. So nice deep breath. Those of you that are in the lasso, and let me know if you need some help. Remember that leg is weightless and it's lifting your head up. So let the leg kind of fall towards the floor and that's going to lift your leg. Yeah, so if you have a shorter lasso, it's harder than it's with a longer one, but too long can also be not enough resistance. Yeah, good. Just let that leg be heavy towards the floor so you're not pulling it towards your face, rather the opposite. It's reaching towards the floor. Yeah. Okay, those of you that are using the strap for this, switch your legs by bringing the opposite leg up, interlace it, hold the strap around your head so it doesn't slip. And again, let the leg fall towards the floor. So it's deceiving because it's not a hamstring stretch. It's really a neck stretch. So let the head be lifted by the weight of the leg. And then those of you that are doing just a hamstring stretch, switch legs. And if you're doing a neck stretch, you can go back to the block. I love that Vito thought of that. That was a great idea. Yeah, and just letting the head kind of be held by the strap, those of you that can. Okay, using your hands to grab the strap to release it from your head. Go ahead and release it. You're gonna be on your back. So normally we do figure 4, we do the ankle over the thigh. This time I want you to put the baby to the side of the foot. On that, it's right between the knee and the thigh. So I'm right in the middle of my thigh. It's the baby toe side. Then bring your legs towards you. And then roll a little bit more to the left, towards your left hip. And just kind of check out the sensation there for 5 breaths. So I'm pressing my thigh into my foot can press into my thigh for like maybe 5 seconds, then I'll just relax. Again, playing with rolling a little bit more to the left might give you a little bit different sensation. And then go ahead and uncross, recross. So this left foot is going to come right down the middle of the thigh, the outer foot. So it's not the ankle. The ankle is actually not made it to the thigh yet. And then taking your right arm on top of your left, bring the legs in. And then again, press foot into thigh, thigh into foot for like 5 seconds to feel some activation. And then let it go. And then kind of let your pelvis, let more weight fall to the right side of your pelvis and your low back. You might, again, just notice the sensation. Soften your jaw and your face. And then when you're ready, uncross. And find your place to relax, whether that's on your back, with your knees knocked together, on your side, on your stomach, seated. You want to give yourself a spritz of that peace. You could do that. I'll spritz you energetically. And just kind of noticing the effects of opening up and mobilizing shoulders in your body. Just kind of noticing the mind again, just briefly, the emotions, the physical body. Take a post-yoga inventory. And then just let it all go. Let the mind go do what it does. Let the body do what it does. Watch and just rest.
I'm going to give you an imagery to work with for the next moment or two. I want you to imagine your body being this beautiful temple. So whatever a temple means for you, it can be a place of worship, it can be a temple of something to architectural beauty, it can be anything that to you is something to admire, something to cherish, something to take very good care of, a place of joy. So just imagining what your body temple would be like in its best condition, its healthiest, most vibrant state. And if there's any one thing you can do today to contribute to that health and vibrancy, can you make that promise to yourself? Maybe it's that you're going to go to bed earlier, that you're going to drink more water, or that you're going to eat an extra green, or that you're going to go for more walks today, or be outside, or that you're going to turn your phone off for longer, or spend some time in reflection or journaling, prayer, meditation, right? Whatever would be adding to that temple's beauty, vibrancy, enjoyment. Take another breath or two and just see what you could do to honor your own temple. And then as you're ready to slowly move again, if you feel like it, move again. We'll join our hands at our heart space. We'll chant Om 3 times. Sweet friends, the light in me honors the light in you. So glad you practiced today. Thank you for your time, and your energy, and your love, and your support. Thanks for being you. Namaste.